I can see 10 attendees: Albert, Basil, David, Girish, Gul, Subhashri, Suha, Tate, Abigail. Okay, let's start with where we left yesterday. Yes, so let's just do a quick revision. We are having a project. We are having a case study where we need to analyze sales of company for 12 months. Okay, so we have 12 months of data which has been already provided to you. I hope everyone is having the one. I'm asking those students, especially those who were not yesterday. Can we get acknowledgement for the same? And also Jupyter Notebook was uploaded just right after the class. So those who were asking, did they got? Can you please guys respond? Suha, did you got that Jupyter Notebook right after the class? Morning, Suha. Okay. So the project is to analyze 12 months of sales data. Problem is that sales data is not available in one file for 12 months. It's available in 12 in one month succession for 12 months. Okay. So, and also each file has shortcomings like duplicate error. You can see that these are the problems that the data have. It has some blank repetitive values and invalid values. Each file is having the same. So we are supposed to do analysis on the all data. So we have to remove these problems from all data. Okay. Plus we need to combine this data vertically, also append it so that we can work on a whole. So what we did yesterday is that we worked on several things like how to connect with the operating system, how to connect with the help of Python to your operating system. Okay, your hard drive. With the help of OS library, we found out the path that we are interested in, and the path is something there you can see. And in the same path, we got to know every file that is available, including the zip file. Okay, but we are interested in CSV files because this is our data resides in. So what we did is that in order to fetch out CSVs, we can either run a for loop with the if condition. The if conditions checks that if the values or the files that we are iterating over, they are of CSV type. Okay, dot CSV. So this is the same way you can do it with the list comprehension also. List comprehension, and this is the same thing for loop. Okay, now we are having a list of all CSV files that we are interested in. Okay, you can see that each element will give me the name of the file that I'm interested in. Okay, now with the help of reading a CSV by concatenating the string, which we have learned in the previous class, we are able to get one particular file. Okay, so instead of working on all the files together, we will first of all work on one file and see and analyze that what is the data set is having for us. Okay, so this is how I analyze the data for December 19. Okay, we have seen that there are 80 nulls. Any values, nulls are there in each variable. And in order to understand the different descriptive functions, we made a hypothetical small data. In the small data, we also analyze how the describe function works. Describe function is primarily for descriptive statistics. Okay, but it can work on the object also with this particular command. Means it can work on the categorical variables also. If the data set is having completely data categorical variable, then it will produce us the frequency table, which is like this. Frequency table in case yours are categorical. Now we started working on problems. Problem one was duplicate rows or repetitive records. In order to identify that, we use a duplicated function. Duplicated functions is going to give us a header, give us a flag where the rows is duplicated. Keeping it first, it means it will only leave that particular first row, and it will mark everyone as a repetitive. Okay. Now we analyze that we were having 25,037 rows, out of which we identified few of them as duplicated. So we did the subtraction, and also we also analyzed the duplicated data itself. Okay, by analyzing the duplicated data, we learned about how we can separate duplicate data from the original data, and we can create a copy of that same duplicated data. And you can see that. And after that, we dropped the duplicates by keeping the first entry only, and we got to know only that 1 1 1 1 NA values are remaining. Okay, after that, we also dropped those values, and after that, we got the whole data fully clean, and we created we again checked, and we found that there is nothing value which is missing, as well as repetitive, as well as invalid. Okay, this is how we cleaned up our data. After that, we started working on the approach of combining the data, because we have a lot of shortcomings in our data. So instead of working on every individual monthly data one by one, we go for the approach. We went for the approach of combining all the data with the problems itself into one big data, one big table, which will be represented as all data, AD. And in order to do that, we created a blank data. Okay, and after that, we used a for loop in order to iterate over every file and at the below append it below the other files. So it started with April 2019 CSV, and after that it appended August 2019 data, and then December 2019 data, and so on till it reached the last one. Okay, and the total size of the data came out to be 186,850, 186K. Okay, and we then reset the index, and we saw the same observation over here, 186,850 entries. Now this is the all data, which is AD. It is having 12 months of data, but with the problems. Okay, so before proceeding towards any operation, we actually made a backup of the same data. Okay, so it's a good practice that I also explained you, that you should be taking backups on a frequent basis in case your work is lost due to any technical issue. Your overall effort will be saved. Okay. On the all data, we have seen that there are 545 nulls or NAs are there. Go ahead, Suha. Go ahead, Suha.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
hi. Sorry, I was just
Hi.
going through the file, and I just wanted to ask, this is where I got stuck a little bit. Um, does it automatically create the file for us?
No, you have to give a
The
name.
all data. So I have to give a name for the all data,
Uh,
and I give the name
so,
where?
so you are doing in Python, or you wanted to create a backup outside Python?
What are you doing?
I'm creating a big all data in Python and creating a backup
Like
outside
that.
Python.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that there is
Yes.
a name that I have given here.
Final data. So by typing that here in the string, it
Mhm.
automatically creates it for you. Is that how you do it? Because I was just a bit confused how that's done.
Yeah, just follow the
Uh,
same. Yeah,
Follow the same.
you
Okay.
just need to change this path only in your computer because it
Yes,
might be different. Yeah, yeah.
I have done that, but so I have done that. So basically at the end for the name,
Yeah,
I will just
yeah,
put final data and that's it.
yeah, yeah. Make
Okay.
sure you follow the backward slash or forward slash, whatever it's in your
Yes.
computer. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah. You can do it. You can share and do it. I will be able to see assist you. In case if you are good, then it's fine. But if you want me to help you in this, please let me know.
Thanks. I will try it first. If I have
Sure,
issues, I'll
sure,
let you know.
sure,
Thank
sure.
you.
Fine. So we have seen that in our data we have 545 null values, NA values. So after this, we left our yesterday's class. Now we will be continuing onwards. Okay. Till now, any issues to everyone? And I see some of the students did not join yesterday and joining here. So is this making sense to all? I can see some of people. Subhashri, you was there or not? David was not there. Okay, you was there. Okay. Anybody else? Basil, are you good? What about Girish? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great. What about Gul?
Yes, I'm good.
You're good? Great. Okay. Now let's start about, let's see, start something for, is the path same as above? Which path, Girish, you're talking about? It's this path. Yeah, it totally depends upon you where you want to create a backup. In your D drive, C drive, location can be anything. No, file name is different. I have, you can see that this is my backup that I've created. Yeah, this is my backup. Yeah. 186850 rows. Go ahead, Suha.
Okay, I think I need some help.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Share your screen.
Okay. Um, Sorry, I don't see the option for sharing the screen.
Okay, let me just give you a panelist access. Yeah, that's fine. Path. No, no. Uh, can you remove this particular thing, path equal to? Yeah.
Oh, I hope that's not it. Okay.
Although it takes the argument, but with the R, sometimes it doesn't take. Can you just run this? Yeah, it's fine. Go
Yeah,
to
it's
your
fine.
location and check. Go to your location and check. Yeah, it will be fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's there. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, give me a minute. I need to state something before showing. Is my screen visible? Okay, something problematic happened. Yeah, fine. I will. Yeah. So before we start working on visualizations, okay, visualizations in Seaborn matplotlib, okay, we need to understand simple plots or diagram. Okay, so for that we have some simple data because this data is a little on heavier side. Okay, so there is a library from Seaborn, or you can import Seaborn. Seaborn is a library for visualization, and we can create a name and object name. SNS is the object, and you can utilize some of its functionalities. Okay, so Seaborn library object will provide you a lot of things. You can see that it's providing you bar plot. There are different plots. Okay, so it's a library for visualization. Okay, but it also provides some sample data on very small data, sample data. So there is a data which is called as tips. Okay, I am just going to give this name or data as tips df. This is the data frame. This is tips data frame. Okay, you can see that this is having only 244 rows, 7 column. Okay, and that's it. And if you wanted to analyze multiple variables, let's say you wanted to see that the first of all, this data is all about a restaurant and its total bill. What is the tip provided by that particular person who ordered? Was that particular person gender was male, female? Was that particular person was smoker? What was the day when that bill was generated? Sunday, Monday. What was the time and how many people were there on that table? Okay. So this is a simple data. So let's say I wanted to see uh, what is happening across. Uh, let's say I wanted to analyze two variables, or let's say one variable. So what is a one variable? How do we analyze a one variable? Have you ever uh, talked about or learned about histogram? Anybody understands histogram? Please raise hand or do provide an acknowledgement in the chat. What is a histogram? Anybody understands histogram? Albert understands. Albert, what is a histogram? Can you just define in one line? Not over time specifically. It's not over time. It's a kind of a chart. Yeah, correct. Okay. So for example, let's say Albert is running from 1 year, let's say. So 3,000 steps and so on. Day 455. So let's say this is the number of steps. And there are multiple values in between. We are not going to talk about. So let's suppose this is the number of steps that Albert runs over these number of days. So what we are going to do analyze is this variable, which is a numeric steps, because steps are numeric. And what kind of variable it is? Discrete. You cannot have 36 or 2.3 steps. It will be always one step, two step. It cannot be like that. You can make it, but usually steps are counted in this way. So what you are going to do is that you will make some kind of bucket, because there will be some time when Albert ran only for 200 steps. There will be some days where he ran in 2000 somewhere around. So you wanted to create a bucket. So how many time Albert ran from 0 to 500 steps? So let's say only 4 days. And from 500 to 1000 steps, how many days? How many occurrences are there where he ran between this range? So let's say 34. And from 1000 to 2000 steps, somewhere around these, sorry, not this will be too high. Yeah, these many times okay, times, and this is bucket, category. Bucket is the best word, okay. Yeah, now, and also 2000 plus steps. So whatever the remaining is there from 547 minus, okay, so 254. So if you take this data, okay, and plot it, okay, how you are going to plot it? In this way. So this will be a bar, very small bar, because it's times, and this axis will be buckets. So this bucket is from 0 to 500 steps. How many occurrences? 6. This bar is very big. It is 34, from 500 to 1000 steps. And this bucket will be a very long bucket, 253, okay, from 1000 to 2000 steps. And from 2000 to onwards, it is again a very big number. So how many? So this is how you analyze one variable. Did you understand what I am doing, what I have done here? Okay. Now similarly, you can analyze any of the variable. Yes. So let's see in this example how many times total bill. What are the total bill histogram? Okay. So what you will do is that this is your total bill, and if you will simply plot, okay, and do simply nothing, you can see that it is the line chart, okay. And let's say if you want to make a different kind, you can say hist. Now this is the same histogram of total bill. Now what does this mean? Let's understand this diagram. So from minimum bill might be something, it's not from 0, okay. From 0 to this particular range, how many bills are there? So you can see that on the y-axis, which is the frequency. And by the way, the times that I have written is also known as frequency. Okay. And this is what you plot on y-axis. Okay. And on your x-axis, you have your buckets. Okay. Now you can see that the highest bill, which is somewhere around, if you see this, somewhere around $13 to somewhere around $18, you are seeing that highest. So how many times this particular bill was generated in between this range? Somewhere around 67, okay, and so on. So you can analyze any of the data, okay. You can, yeah, hist is only for your single variable. Now you can take any of the variable. Let's take tips, df. There is another variable, uh, tip. How that tip is, and by analyzing any variable, you also by analyzing any variable, you analyze its trend, okay. You analyze its trend, okay. And by the trend means that you analyze its pattern. Simple. Okay, so again, what kind of plot I want? I want a histogram. Stands for histogram. And you can see that this is the tips of the same bill that has been generated. And this is how it is looking. Okay, it's histogram. So somewhere around not very big tips, you can see that the tips from $8 to $10, they are almost 1 and 2. Okay, most of the tips are between $2 to $3. Okay, so by analyzing one variable, you can analyze what's happening in the data. Do you think it is giving you a summarization of the data? What do you think? Histogram is providing you some kind of summary? Thank you. Yeah, correct. So when you have two variables, then what you will do? Okay, you can make a scatter plot. Okay, so let's analyze a different plot. We have Seaborn object, and what plots we can make? We can make a bar plot. Let's first of all make a bar plot. Okay, in order to make a bar plot, there are some arguments that is required. You want a x and you want a y. Okay, so your x could be your total bill, and your y could be your gender. Okay, okay, let's try to see the bar plot. Now, in this bar plot, it is showing you that how male and females total bill are there. So females total bill is showing here. You can see that. Hey, go ahead. You have raised
So
hand.
we can change the X and Y like here
Yeah,
you put
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. Let me just change it right now. Now it is Y and this is X. Now it is changed.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So you can make any of the visualization. Now we are analyzing two variables. Okay, be mindful of that. Now there is another plot, scatter plot. Okay, here you analyze two numeric variable. Okay, so in bar plot you can analyze uh, in bar plot you can analyze two variable. It can be a numeric and it can be a categorical. Okay, you can see that one variable is numeric, this is quantitative total bill, and gender is your uh, categorical. Okay, so let's we can analyze what fields we have. Day. Okay, yeah, now you can see that day wise sales or total bills. Okay, so please do try at your end. Go ahead, Gul.
Yes, in this graph we see the black lines. What are these lines they are
Some
showing?
kind of indicators. It is some kind of indicators. Now, what is this indicator? This indicator is showing you that this particular bar is having some outliers at this point. It means that some of the values are very high at this point. You will see that, yeah. So this is usually for indication purpose. So because why it is given to you? Because when you have different bars visually, in order to see the top, there is a requirement of a point so that you can analyze the decreasing or increasing bar. Okay, so that's why it's usually for aesthetic purpose. Okay, for making a visualization more stand out. Okay, you can use the by default. Let me just show you different example. My screen is scrolling. Can you see scrolling?
And
No.
No.
Okay, give me a moment. I am having some trouble. Yeah, now fine. So yes, we have a visualization for analyzing one variable. We have visualization for analyzing two variables. Okay, you can have a scatter plot. Okay, scatter plot stands for analyzing two numeric variables. Okay, so what it takes a x and a y. Okay, so x is total bill, sorry, tips data. You have total bill. Your y is should be a numeric one. So what is a numeric field? Tips. Okay, let's analyze this. Oh, tip. Spelling is, yeah, tip, not tips. Okay, now you can see that this is how my total bill and tip is going along with each other. What is the relationship between them? You can see that as the bill amount goes up, the tip is also going up, and that should happen because higher the bill, higher the tip. Lower the bill, lower the tip. Okay, so it is a it's going in a positive way. So as we will be seeing this in statistics with the help of correlation, what is the meaning of, well, how we identify between the relationships of two variables. Okay, so this is called scatter plot. And one of the important thing about, very good thing about scatter plot is that there is the option of we. What this does is that it allows a different variable, third variable you can analyze also. Okay, so third variable is gender. Let's say what happens that. Okay, now it tells you the points where the male points are and where the females are. Okay, so three variables are analyzed at one time: bill, tips, and the gender. So you can see that the orange represents for female and male are represented by this blue. And you can see that each individual data point in the scatter plot. Okay, got it? Now this is your scatter plot. Single line, three variables. There is a particular thing called count plot also. What is a count plot? It actually counts and plot it. Okay, so it's also a univariate Okay, what you need to analyze here is to give x, let's say total tips, and let's say I am giving you one variable, only one variable. Hui is an additional point. Hui is an additional point which identifies each data point with another variable. Okay, it actually provides colors of dots in scatter plot. Okay, so it means that what is that color will be used for? It's going to use to identify the gender. Okay, if you change the variable to day, now it is giving you that what each data point, what is the relationship between tip and total bill along with the day. So all the green points belongs to Saturdays. Okay, all the orange refers to Fridays, and all the blues refers to Thursdays, and all the red refers to Sundays. Okay, so you can use, yes. So it totally depends how many values you have in third variable. Okay, so day has 4 values. Okay, what about the time? Let's use the time. Now each variable is analyzed with the time at which each data point is categorized as the time. So all the blues represents for lunch and the orange represents for the dinners. Okay, so you can use this additional v argument. No, it's only one. Okay, because if you insert uh, two hues, then how does that make sense? Because you are either analyzing gender, but how you will give a different color to the same data point representing the day. Okay, so if you wanted to do, then plot a different chart with that particular variable. Okay, you can create another line. Yeah, no, 3 dimensions are possible in humans to visualize, or maximum to maximum the colors is there. For plotting options, you can only have 3 dimensions. Okay, you x, y, and z you can see and plot. Fourth dimension, you cannot plot the fourth dimension, you, because we live in a 3 dimensional world, and visualizations are either 2 dimensional or 3 dimensional. Yeah, let's see the count plot. If I simply put the gender, so it is giving me male and female counts. Okay, so you can see that in the whole data I have less females comparison to the males. Okay, so I have somewhere around 158, and you can see that this is the plot. Okay, now 4 plots we have analyzed. Okay, now we are ready to analyze some advanced charts. Okay, this is called heat map. Okay, heat map. What is heat map? Let me show you. Tips TF is null or is any sum. Okay, so we have null values as 0 because this is a proper data set. It is having no problem. Okay, it is very much a toy data set. Okay, now how can you visualize this thing? Okay, You can see in this here chart, I have analyzed the heat map. What is heat map? So first of all, let's make a diagram to make you understand what is a heat map. Okay, so let's consider this Excel. Okay, this is Excel, and let's assume some values. Okay, okay, can you see that? So these are my values that I have created. If I wanted to make it to, let's say, a little decimal points, yeah, fine. Let's even make it to percentage. Yes. So 100% is the green, exactly green color. Okay. Any less numbers is showing you as red. Okay. So this is actually called a heat map. Okay. So your colors are representing some intensity. Okay. You can choose a different color scheme altogether also. Okay. Higher values with the more cooler tone, blue colored. Okay. And less value showing as red tone. Okay. So what heat map stands for? Heat map stands gives you a intensity based color. Okay, based on the values. Based on the values, the color intensity of the color is changed. Okay, so heat maps tells you the same thing. Okay, it either gives you information with the help of colors, or it gives you information with the help of even black and white. Okay, yeah, I will show you where we do use the heat map. So suppose well, this is random number, so every time I will change, the numbers will change. Albert, let me just make it freeze. Okay, and this is subject one, subject two. Okay, so on. Now, does that make sense? Good.
Yes.
Fine. How it is used?
Yes. Yes.
Fine. Subhashri, now does that make sense? And obviously, if goal is scoring 4%, then it has to be highlighted and 9%. But if she is scoring 84% and 67, then it needs to be shown in the similar tone. Okay, fine, fine. Now you have to do the same thing for checking the null values. Let's say null values. So record one. I'm just creating a copy of the same thing. Variable one, variable two, variable three. Record one, record, and so on. Okay. Okay. Now I will convert it back to numbers. Okay. Now let's assume that we have analyzed the data AD. Okay, let's freeze it. Okay, and we have checked the null values. Okay, and this is the result. Give me a moment. Let me just remove them first of all. Make it transpose. Somebody's question is there. Yeah, we have classes. You can talk to program manager. I also have a course that I teach for Excel, advanced Excel with career era. Guys, do also I like Excel is not now a technical skill. It's a soft skill. Just like communication and coordination is a soft skill, Excel is now become a soft skill. It's not a technical skill now. You cannot show it in your CV or resume that I know this skill as an additional, okay, because it is so mandatory that it is now treated as a soft skill, because I am telling you from my experience as a recruiter. Okay, so if you don't have it, then it's a big minus. Okay, it's a big minus. Okay, so please make sure you learn Excel at least an intermediate level, not even an advanced, but an intermediate level. You can see that I'm explaining a very complex programming language with the help of Excel. Okay, this is one of the use cases. So let's analyze this data, and variable 1, 2, 3 is having this many null values. Okay, this many values. So you can also think of this data like this way, where we are going to reduce the make these values. I don't know how to remove the colors. Yeah, so assume I'm not able to remove this numbers, but assume we have only the black and white colors. I don't know how to make it, but something like this. Let me just make it. This stands for black. Okay, how do I make a cell? Record 1, record 2, record 3. So these are some values. Say A. Yeah. So some of them are missing values. You can see that these are missing values. Okay. Now, if you wanted to see this thing or a data set of million rows, okay, you need to have a something which can show you in this form of colors how each record is looking. Okay, as a summary but a visualization also. You wanted to see that which of the variables are having the most missing values. Okay, so this particular heat maps helps you a lot. So what I've done here is that AD dot is null Now, if you see, if I run this command, it is showing you for all the data. Okay, what is it is doing is that giving us a null value check or not. So in this case, when there is a true, it means a blank row is there. Okay, if you wanted to check for the overall data, you can check it by seeing the indexes. But if you see that this information is very hard to absorb, because you are only seeing a handful of the records, not all records. But in order to see this thing or a large scale in a visualization, you put this into the heat map. And the moment I see that, I'm seeing a chart. Okay, I'm seeing a chart for every variable. You can see that this is my order ID, this is my product, this is quantity covered, price each, order date, and so on. And what can you see these lines and these vertical lines? Vertical lines are for your variables. Okay, are for your variables. And in somewhere around this row, there is an entire blank. Okay, but in between also there are some blanks which you are not able to see because this plot is giving you some random indexes. Can you see that on the x-axis? And what does that mean legend stands for? What does that mean? It means that what is the percentage of the missing or the blank value. So you can see that it is completely white here on the legend. So it means there is a exactly repetitive blank rows over here at this point of time or at this particular rows somewhere around between 83,000 and 888,000 you have blank rows, and vertical line stands for every variable. So exactly for all the variables there is some blank over here, but it is only giving you a handful of the indexes ranges. So that's why we are not able to identify all the blanks. Okay, now what to do? If you will increase the size of this plot by this particular figure, let's make it 15, you will start seeing other blank areas also. Yes, because why it is showing you null values? Because heat map is working on the null values. Okay, heat map is working on the null values. Now increase the size a little bit more vertically. Now you will start, because I cannot draw because there is a limitation. Let's try to make a little bigger plot. Yeah, and you can see that the moment I am increasing the chart size, I am also seeing the lot of different indexes. Okay, okay, so I'm seeing the different indexes. So you can see that it's starting from the zero index and it is starting from till the last. It's going till the last. Okay, so the heat map can show you those missing areas. Okay, AD is null. Something in chat. Girish, can you provide me a context what you are not understanding? This means any specific point can you pinpoint in heat map you are not able to understand null or the visualization? You can speak up also, that will be fine. The same way that I explained you. Okay, this is the same way. For example, you have different records, and if there is a blank row, okay, exactly blank, so it is showing you with a white color, and if it is having fill values, it is showing you a black. You can see that it means 0% of the blank rows, and if there is 100% blank, then it is white. Okay, no worries, I can understand. Okay, so on the right side, you will see a legend chart. So it is showing you color. Okay, either you are having completely blank rows or you are having some. You can see that how many. This is showing you the percentage in decimals. You can see that 0.0, 0.2. 0.2 means 20%. Okay, 0.4 40%, 0.6 60%, and 1 means the color is also changing. Look at the color. Index is not calculated. Index is not calculated. Index is just plotted over here. Okay, you cannot calculate the index. Index is already there. It's showing you that in what indexes, in what index range you are seeing this particular record which is having the nulls. It is giving you an indication. You can see that it is the range of the index. Okay, so if I just plot the small data, let's say this is the small data. Okay, this is my index. Okay, and what is index? Index shows the record number. Okay, so how I do I plot 186 indexes? You cannot. So you have to pick up some ranges in between, from record 1 to record 3 and so on, something like that. So index is not calculated. Yes, yes, obviously now you got it. You can see this legend. There is a legend on the right hand side. So the 0.0 means 0 blank. 1 point means 100% blank. Okay, so you can see the lines, they are white. Okay, and where it is occurring, you can see that it is occurring somewhere around this index range. No, so for example, it is only having in one variable, so this variable will be not white, it will be black because it is having the value. But in this case, it is occurring over order ID, product, and you can see that index is not having any line because there is no blank can be possible in index. But there is no sense of making it converted back to the this one. Heat map of decides it on its own. Okay, if you will switch the index on column, it will be very much cumbersome, it will be too much complicated to analyze because you will have a then a vertical scroll. Yes, there are white spots. Yes, so that's where the blank values are there. But can you see this? Can you imagine? You are analyzing 186K rows in one plot. You are able to see the defects, okay, in a such big plot, in a such a big data, okay, and you are almost having an idea where my blank rows are occurring. Okay, so you can analyze single or two variables also. You can see that I have only analyzed the order ID and price, and because my chart is very small, I'm not able to see that. So I can increase the chart size by this particular line, plt dot figure dot and figure size. Okay, so this is a command from matplotlib. It actually helps you to control the size of your plot. Okay, you can see that now I am only analyzing two variables. Okay, I am only analyzing order ID and price. Okay, and I'm seeing the same thing. That's why I just kept the index, because in order to show you that there is nothing lines over there. There are no lines over there because it is having no blank values. Index cannot have blank. Okay. Now going ahead, let's take a short break, guys. Then we will continue with this one. So meanwhile, you can also do this by your own. Okay. So again, in few minutes, break. Okay, let's start then. Okay, this is our heat map. Now let's analyze, come back to the main problem. We have to analyze the data. Now we have identified that we have null values, okay, repetitive values and invalid values all over our combined data, which is all data, having 12 months of data. So we have this much column, and because we have all data, which is info, we are seeing here, it is all object except for the index, which is not counted here. So it will give us a frequency table, and you can see the same problem that we saw earlier when we analyze the one data. So we will do the same thing. Okay, we will do the same thing. Okay, we can see that we have made a function to check the missing distribution. Okay, and it is showing me in terms of percent. Okay, it is showing me the percent also. Okay, and you can see that I have made a function where if I provide any of the data, okay, just like the same data we were made, it will give me the missing or the null values. Okay, and in terms of percentage also for the variable. So it is having, I'm having no nulls in the data that I already worked upon. Okay, so you can see that it is having, so this function, if you provide any data frame, it will give you a table like this. Okay, so this particular function I have made, this actually starts with taking your data and it's checked for the null values and it sums it up, and then it creates a percentage. Okay, how many null values and how many totals are there, and it checks the total values, means that how many particular unique values are there in that particular variable. Okay, it checks that. Okay, and accordingly it checks for your nulls. So it is giving me this percentage index. There is a by default index and there is a index that I have deliberately taken as a column in order to show you. Okay, now we will do the same thing. We will be seeing the duplicates in the overall data frame. It includes your repetitive values, it includes your invalid values, and it will include our NAs also. So we can see that this is duplicated data. We have, sorry, something wrong. I need to run that again. I did some mistake over here. Yes. No, fine. Drop is an argument which will drop any of the existing indexes. Girish, I am already very slow. Ask the program manager. Ask the program manager. I'm actually 2 months behind from the expected schedule. You're asking me to slow down again. In that case, I respectfully divert you to the program manager. Ask the same thing to the program manager. Okay, I'm already taking baby steps in order to see the growth of the batch. And that's why I am also questionable to the management that I'm going very slow, because as per the schedule, we should be somewhere on the machine learning. But because I always respect the learner's capacity and the speed, so that's why I'm going accordingly. More than that, slow. Go ahead and ask the program manager. I am ready to go ahead. Okay, fine. So again, doing the same thing. My data is ready. Now I will repeat the same thing. I will separate out the duplicated data, which is 1, 4, 2, 8, and 6 columns. Okay, and I will check the unique values. Order ID is having 265 unique values. It means there are a lot of repetitions of the order IDs. Okay, and also there are 17 products I'm seeing. Okay, and ordered quantity means that there are usually one order, two order, three order, maybe what values are there. I will check. Okay, there are basically 17 different prices. Okay, maybe 99.9 is the same product price for most of the products, maybe 67.8. So we can see that there are 265 order dates, 265 purchase addresses. Okay, and I can analyze the same thing in my duplicated data. This is only my duplicated data. Okay, so within the duplicates, same condition I have applied. Okay, we will do the same thing that we have done for others, that done above. Okay, we will check for the nulls in the duplicated. Okay, we will, when we will analyze the duplicate data, we will see that there are some indexes I'm seeing NaN values. Okay, now my whole duplicates is including my nulls, including my uh, repetitive values, and also it includes my invalid values. What are the invalid values? Because they are also repeated. If you see this particular uh, data, you can see that. Okay, and we have seen that in our data also. So in one step, I can make this whole data clean by doing this. All data AD drop duplicates. Okay, that's it. Once I will do this, my whole data will be clean. Okay, I want all duplicates to be removed. So with this one step, I will be able to clean my data. But in order to show you some skills, what I will do is that I will pick this data 1428, which is having the duplicates, and I will show you how to analyze this particular data itself and how we use the different techniques to counter the problems that we see here. Okay, you can see that this is the exact repetition. Okay, you are seeing the NaN values, you are seeing invalid values. Okay, so we will apply the same techniques over this data, which is dupes. Earlier we were using the duplicated data in the above step. You can see that. Now duplicated data was a data frame that was for December 2019, whereas this dupes is only for the combined data. Okay, and we will see the anomalies in this data. So from 365 index onwards, I can see that there are NaN values. So I will use the lock to see what's going ahead with this index, because you don't only want to see in the tail and the head of the data. You wanted to see the tail and ahead from a particular index. So that you can also do with the help of lock function that we have already covered. Okay, so I have all from the above step I have seen that 356 index. So I am using the same 356 index onwards, and I am seeing the data ahead. Now you can see that it's starting the 50 observations, first 50 observations from index number 356. How do we remove the duplicates from this data, dupes? Or How do we remove these values? Now let's analyze this dupes data. Dupes is having dupes is having 1428. Now see how many of them are null values. Here you will be able to see a lot of things. Okay, and also by sorting the data by order date, you will be able to see that how many of them are numeric, how many of them are in ascending order. So simply checking your data while sorting also will give you a better shuffle. Okay, you will be able to see the problems when you see the things around. Okay, now here also I am using the is na function to see the to na values. Now the same heat map now looks better. You will be able to see that. Now you're seeing the fine lines. Okay, and you can see the observations count. Okay, you can see that these are the observations where I am seeing the NA values. In the data, dupes. And dupes is only having how many rows? 1428. Now you can see that which are those observations with the indexes has got the total blanks. Because your overall data size is reduced, that's why you are able to see the white lines very clearly. And you can see that it is occurring in the all variables. Okay, so whenever there is a black, it means some data is there. Okay, it means that row is having data, but all these rows are exactly blanks. Now heat maps is giving you an idea of how much the NA values are there visually, because when we see it on a number, it doesn't gives us the realization, but when you visualize it, it gives you a full picture. Okay, now let's further analyze this duplicate data. Okay, you will see that by analyzing our data from head to toe, let's again see, you will be seeing that 519 is a invalid value. So how to go towards that record and onwards? Okay, so I am just sorting the data from this particular point onwards, 519 onwards, and you will be able to see that I am seeing all the invalid values that were there in my data. Okay, and if you were be continually doing the same one data set or data frame one time, you would be not able to see that all together. Okay, so that's why combine the data, making up all data and analyzing that will make you give more power. And you can see that from different files we are having the indexes from 10,000, from 11,000, 14,000. So it might be from the different sheet itself. Okay, now what do we do all these things? We remove them. Invalid values, we should be removing them. Okay, so from our duplicated data, we will be duplicating all the duplicates and keeping the first entry. Okay, so we have 266 rows now left because that duplicates are gone. Okay, and when I say duplicates are gone, these are also gone. But remember, the first is going to be retained. So what is the first? 519. It will be retained and all its duplicate will be gone. Okay, and also with the same entries also, where there was duplication, only first entry is kept, where otherwise is gone. Okay, because of that, there will be some NaN values which will be remaining, and there will be some invalid values which will be still remaining. Now how to remove that particular record? Okay, how to remove that particular record which is a problematic for you? So in this way you will learn. If you wanted to remove a particular record, whether it's a duplicate, invalid, or anything, you can target that particular record also with the help of functions. Let's see those functions. So you know that at index number 519 you have a problem. Okay, so I'm going to make a index 1 as 519. Let's say index 2. Okay. Now I will be using drop. There is a drop function. There is a drop duplicates, drop NA, and there is a drop directly. You can pass labels argument as index 2. That's it. Now it will go towards that index and remove it. It will drop that particular index. Okay. So if you wanted to do a particular pinpoint operation, drop a particular pinpoint index, you can also do that. Okay. Similarly, you can see that this is the dedupes that I have already made, which is having my duplicates removed. Okay, so from dupes I have dropped duplicates, keep the first entry, and then the same data is saved as d underscore dupes. Okay, so we have d underscore okay, 266 and 6. Now d underscore dupes drop, and we have access because we wanted to remove the rows and what index I need to remove. Let's give the directly the index name itself 519. And if you wanted to remove a particular column, then you have either a column or a label. I don't, yeah, columns also available. You can provide that particular argument, and that's it. And in place also works here. True making means it will remove it permanently and it will, yeah. Similarly here, okay, so I have removed it, so I will not do this again. I will reset the index because after removing anything or after dropping any of the rows, you need to reset your index. Okay, so this was it. Now after that you can check the null values remaining. I think it's a repetition. Yes. Under d underscore dupes, you will check the null values and the sum will be 0. It means everything is fine. Every null value is gone. Every repetitive value is gone. Every invalid value is gone because you have removed the last entry also, or the first entry. So whenever you are removing the duplicates, make sure that you also remove the last entry that has been left, because while removing any of the duplicates value, you will be either using the first and last. Okay, because you cannot afford in production environment on real world to remove all the entries. You have to keep one as a safety. Okay, so make sure that whatever you keep is also valid to the business or not. Okay, so for example, keeping this record doesn't hold any value, so it's better to get rid of this. Okay, and also there is no value in keeping this one, so remove it off. Okay, so this is how you make your data clean. We have talked about 3 steps or 3 problems that EDA help us to tackle. Okay, now I wanted to have an acknowledgement. I will repeat any of the things. We still have time. Anybody wants to show their screen, facing any issues, any error, please go ahead. Guys, please do provide acknowledgement. Thank you. Now, after we have, yeah, it this requires a lot of practice. That's why we are giving you the same day the files with the changes so that you can practice the next day. So after we have seen that we have 1428 duplicates, we will be removing them from our all data. So AD right now having 18685 entries, the same old data with all the problems. Now, in order to get rid of that, we will drop all the NA's values. Okay, and now after removing the NA values, we are having 186305. Now analyze this number 186305 and this one. Let me just comparison 186850 minus 186305. 545 values or the NAs have been gone. Now it's time to remove the duplicates. Okay, so we will be keeping the first entries. Okay, and we will reset the index. Now we have 185687. Now from the original value count 0850 minus 15687 1163. So far all the values that was a problem for us, we have got rid of that. Okay, now because in place equal to true, it means that AD is now having all my clean data. Still there are some there are some invalid values still there. What are those? If you understood it really well, we are keeping the first value still in our data. It means that those invalid first rows like this one, it is still there in our data. Okay, still in our data. So what do we do with that? We can do the same thing like this one, like the index wise operation. We can do this. Okay, so please do and try by yourself. Okay, I've shown you the one, but this still having a one invalid row. Okay, so after this clean data, I'm saving the final data sales in an Excel format, this clean data. Okay, in order to save that, I'm not saving to CSV, I'm saving to Excel. Same procedure, just provide the .xlsx format because you don't want output into be a CSV. Okay, and after that you can start analyzing on this one. Once we have encountered the EDA, the problems with the help of EDA, now we are ready for the next part, feature engineering. Okay, now we can do the same thing that Suha asked yesterday, like extracting meaningful insights from the data. Okay, here comes the analysis part also. Analysis. analysis and feature engineering. Yes. Now we have analyzed so far and cleaned the data. Let's analyze one field. Okay. We are seeing that this particular data is talking about products sold by some office or some retail store. Okay, and customer is ordering some of the products like wired headphone, AA batteries, 4 pack, gaming monitor, and they are ordering not one quantity but two quantities also, and there is a price of each. You can see that. So this is not the total price. Okay, the header says this price each. Okay, so if some person is buying AA batteries 4 pack, because in 1 pack, I don't know, but it is costing that particular person 3.84. If the order is 2, how it can be possible? And in the same person, not the same person, but a different ID, the same product is ordered quantity is 1, still the same price. And one person is from Atlanta and one person is from Portland. How it can be possible? So that's why analyze the variable itself, what it is representing. Okay, try to mimic the value chain, then you will analyze the problems in the data. So it means the price that we are seeing is still needs to be multiplied with the order quantity. Do you agree on that? And then we will get the total price that particular person has paid for the order, because right now we are seeing price of each item. Can you see this also? Yes. So this is called feature engineering. What is feature engineering? Extracting multiple useful fields from existing field. So what is the existing field? Price each. If you multiply it with quantity ordered, what you will get? You will get total, correct? Now I'm using the existing field to create a more meaningful and useful field, which is total. This is called feature engineering. Okay, how do we do that? AD total. Let's see if it worked or not. Okay, are you agree guys on that, that we have ordered quantity and price each, if we multiply both of them will give me the total price? Correct. What about others? Yes. Now it should give me, but let's see if it is giving you or not. AD quantity ordered multiplied by AD price each. It should give us, but it's giving me error. Maybe spelling mistake. Even if it gives, it makes me strange. Still, even spelling is correct. Yeah, I've corrected the spelling. Still, why? You can see that the error always tells you the story. Cannot multiply sequence by a non-integer type of str. It means the type mismatch error. Look at that. Multiplication is only possible with the numbers. Can you multiply alphabet with a number? No. Yes, it's a string. So what do we do in that case? We are still stuck. Okay, because if we see the type ad.info, ordered quantity is a object type, which is means it is a categorical one. Price is also object type, and you cannot multiply two different object and expect a number. No. So you have to convert it to number. So one more step that we have added here in the EDA, type conversion. Is it required or not? If it is required, yes, then it's also so Girish has already answered it. Okay, yes. So we can use that. Okay. So we can convert the type as type. Fine. I have done the same thing, but still the issue. Why still there is a issue? Anybody else? Girish, what do you think? Why it's not working? I've applied the same thing that you mentioned. Is there any problem that you're seeing? Can you see this problem? Why it's still not working? It's a very small thing. You can see it. Yeah, I've applied that same thing. You can see that. Still not working. Okay, so let's see this. Why it's not working? I will tell you. Because we are directly converting and doing the multiplication. It's not like that. We have to first of all do the changes. Okay, and then we do have to apply the same thing. Let's do equal to my screen is frozen again. Guys, can you see scrolling?
No.
No.
Give me a moment, still facing the issue. Might be some heating issue I'm facing. That's why I'm still trying to share again. Yeah, fine. Now I'm good. I can share back again. Yeah. Yeah. Now I did fine. Even if I am doing it, fine. Now I am good with that screen sharing issue. Still, it's not working. Can you see that error? Invalid literal for integer with base 10 quantity ordered. What does that mean? If you remember carefully, I said that there is one still record which is there because we removed the all duplicates invalid values, but still we kept the first copy, the first record here, and this is creating the problem for us. Even if in your data is there is one record out of your million records which is still having uh, different data type, it will not let you convert. It will not let you convert. Okay, even if you do it separately or in the calculation, anywhere, because the error itself tells you the story. Invalid literal for integer with base 10 quantity ordered. So whatever the effort you will do, it will get waste. So it's better to remove that particular first of all thing. So AD drop drop what index you wanted to remove. 516. Look at this one. 516 in place equal to true. That is dropped. Okay. Now it should be working. Yes. Okay. Now ad.info is converted into integer 32. Okay. Now, even if you do it with a calculation itself, it will work. Okay. So always focus on what I'm saying. I just deliberately try to give you a pause because I want you to keep track of that particular important fact that we have left one thing. In fact, it was showing right away. Okay. So if you try to convert the type of quantity order or price each, whereas still you are saying that one price each. So why it is giving you error? Because first of all, it's trying to convert into number, but how it will convert this alphabet or this word into a number? That's why it's giving you an error, and the error is saying that invalid literal for integer. Invalid literal for integer is this quantity ordered. Why quantity ordered? It is not the header, it is the value that it is saying that creating a problem, this one. Okay, so that's why the the answer to resolve the error is hidden in the error statement itself. Okay, now do the same thing. Still not working because price each is also creating a problem. You can see that invalid literal for integer with the base 10, 11.95, and you can see that 11.95 is written in the single quotes. It means that something is there in the price which is creating a problem. Okay, and that's why this particular number is not able to convert, so you have to separate it first of all. Okay, and convert this again. Now this price is converted. Okay, something is problematic here again. Yeah, something in chat. Rish, price. Yeah, that's it. That I did. Yes, thank you. That's correct. Now you can remove all these things because your conversion has happened. Before doing this, AD info check. Now your quantity ordered is a number which is integer. Your price is a floating point number which is a continuous number. And now you can do the multiplication of total. AD is giving you a, you can see that USB-C cable, charging cable, the unit price is 11.95 and the total is 23.9. Okay, that's making sense. So if your AAA battery pack is $2.99 each. So if the person has ordered three, so it will be 8.97. Okay, this is the feature engineering. Okay, and info will give you an total of float, because if you multiply integer with a float, so the answer should be always a float because it will be in the decimals. So that's why it's a float 64. Okay, you also want to analyze how many different unique products you have. Okay, it's showing you have total 19 products. Okay, what are the different products you wanted to see them? You just copy this products dot unique. Okay, so these are your unique products. You can do the same way. AD product unique values. This is also going to work. This is also going to work. Okay, so these are your different products in your overall all data. Okay, now you will be analyzing furthermore. Okay, now in order to do a root cause analysis or any kind of analysis, you always look for 2 or 3 records to check. Okay, and also I will show you, I don't have now time. If anybody wants to extend it, that's good, but uh, I think it's 7 minutes. I don't know how many of you are comfortable in extending or want to extend. If somebody has a time limitation, then I can stop. Sure. Oh, no worries. Fine. So thank you. I will, although very small part is remaining. Okay. You can see that we are almost completing our this Jupyter notebook. We have learned almost the tricks and techniques. You first of all revise this, and this will make you more sense. Okay, we will continue with the aggregations. How we use, yes, I will upload it right away. Program manager will do this for you. Okay. Now, as we are done with this, we will be starting with Tableau. Okay. Tableau is one of your 6th module. Okay, which is dedicated for data visualization. Okay, so we have seen that how we can create visualizations here, but we will be learning how to create visualization in a very enhanced or uh, in a very advanced software which is called Tableau. For that, you need to install Tableau in your computer. Okay. Yes, SQL is something that we have planned, but we will do it later. We will be completing Tableau first. Yeah. Yeah. After we will do the Tableau, we'll start with the SQL. Yeah. So you need to install the Tableau software. You can go for a trial version. Tableau is available for trial for 14 days. You will be installing it, and after 14 days it will not work. So we have a very limited time period. In fact, I also get a Tableau free version. I have few days left. That's why I'm scheduling it. And it will be a 2 day or 3 day. uh, I think it will be covered in 1 week. Okay, because we will be we will be uh, seeing one case study. Okay, although it's a uh, usually a 2 hour class, but I'm extending it for making it a case study. So it will be available somewhere in 2 or 3 sessions. You will be seeing how we can create very good visualization, storytelling, uh, presentations with the help of Tableau. Okay, so this will be our next thing. And after Tableau, we will be working on SQL. Okay, that is your module number 3. Followed by that, we will be working with stats and machine learning. Okay, so giving you a little ATA on the timeline. Fine, thank you guys. That's it for now. I'm going to upload this right away, and I request everyone to please go through on this. You will have a lot of clarity. Thank you. Please rate the lectures and do provide any area of improvement. Thank you. Yes, agree on that, agree.